Welcome back to the Sunday Footy Show. Thanks to Home Timber and Hardware, your proper hardware store. It is now time to have a look at the best team in the competition. Collingwood took on North Melbourne yesterday. It was a very one-sided affair, 21-17 to 7-14. Travis Cloke, fantastic with 5 goals. Look at the numbers for Swan and Pendlebury, just racking up hill. On the other side of it, Brent Harvey did a very, very nice job. In fact, look at the experienced players there getting the job done for the Kangaroos. But it was a one-way street at Etihad yesterday, and Collingwood just keep getting better and better. We are very fortunate to have Sharrod Wellingham join us on the Sunday Footy Show. Sharrod, welcome to you, and congratulations. I thought your club and yourself were terrific yesterday.
Thanks, mate. Pretty happy with the start of the year we've had so far, and hopefully we can just keep going for the rest of the year.
Well, we've got our man Dermot Brereton taking a look at this game, so let's hand over to the master.
Thank you very much. Well, they came out there. It was always going to be a tough gig for the North Melbourne boys. They were very young in the midfield. They were coming back from 36-degree heat. One of the areas that really, really impressed me was when the game's up there for whatever period it is and it's there to be won. It happened to be the first quarter yesterday. I don't say they put them away, but they literally broke North Melbourne's back in the first quarter. And Pendlebury was just outstanding. He sits next to you in the midfield for a lot of the time. His extraordinary ability, Sharrod, to actually dodge tackles, and he makes the clock slow down when people are around him. His deception is fantastic.
Yeah, he's definitely very cool, calm and collected when he's got the footy, and I think it's great strength of his just to be able to play with and do really whatever he feels like doing, I think.
Now, Swanee's had 40 touches again. He's just an absolute ball magnet. Pendlebury's had 39. After 5 possessions in the first quarter, it was at quarter time Mick Moldhouse said, pull your finger out, and he's had 18 touches in the second quarter.
Yeah, Swanee was pretty happy with that this morning. He came in saying that Mick gave him a bit of a pull your finger out quarter time, so he came out and got the lazy 18.
Sharrod, are they your best 2 trainers, Pendlebury and Swan? Are they out the front in all the running training?
Swanee's a very good runner, but as far as training standards go, they couldn't be polar opposites, I'd say. Swanee's very nonchalant and really just gets through training, whereas Pendle's puts himself through the hard yards every session. So I think, yeah, polar opposites, as I said.
I go down and watch as many teams train as I can on when the occasion sits right, and I've watched Collingwood train, and I have to back that up with Swanee. He goes out there in the long pants, the track suits. It's like, oh, do I have to get out there? So is that slack at training?
Yeah,
he does what he has to.
He does what he has to. He gets through, and he does whatever he has to do every week.
You got to like that.
It's working for him.
I love that.
For you, man. You made a career out of it. We have a look at North Melbourne. When you're in the midfield and you look up the other end and the opposition has a shot, you're already readjusting whether you go back to the centre or into your zones. I tell you what, you went into your zone a lot yesterday because they shot like this at goal in the first half.
Yeah, I think, there's not...
Not that you can comment on it, but James, this is the type of stuff that is unacceptable because you do have control over how you kick the ball when you're not under all that much pressure. None of these shots are under real pressure.
No, and the issue with a few of them were that they came from our very best players. You saw Boomer Harvey miss, he missed a couple. Daniel Wells missed a couple, 1 set shot, 1 on the run. They're the sort of people that normally put them away, and that's the sort of act that makes a bloke like Brad Scott's hair get thinner and thinner.
Sharrod, you get to play next to some big-bodied midfielders, and even the kids who are coming. You're now a senior player, you're no longer a kid, but some of your kids who have come in side, bottom, beams, they are just brutes.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the size. David Butterfield's done a great job over the last couple of years, and I think it's something that we take a lot of confidence from, knowing that we can go in there and hold our own. You know, we do make comment of it after a few games that we do feel a lot stronger over the footy and around stoppages and things like that. Having a bigger body makes it a lot easier to win the footy.
Yeah, not that it's part of your team plan, but did you make mention how tough it was going to be for these boys to come back from a long, arduous trip that took the steam out of them last week, and if you kept at them physically, they'd wilt?
Yeah, it definitely was. Made note of it, and I think the way that North Melbourne's always played, that they're going to come back at us. I think they've shown that over the last few years, and I think at half-time it was a matter of not letting them get the first run on, and I think we let them have a couple of goals there, but as we showed last week, Port Adelaide getting a few goals after half-time is just not really good enough.
Andy Cracker was the sub yesterday, and he came on late in the third quarter, and he came onto an almighty roar from the Collingwood faithful, so it looks like he's already one of the supporters' favourites down there.
Yeah, definitely. I think it could turn out to be a story of the year with Crack, and he's taking every opportunity to come in from day one and showing that he's willing to do everything he can.
Is it too easy, Sharrod? Is it just, you know, the easiest game of football you can possibly play over the last few years because everyone does their job and does their role so well?
Yeah, it does. It does make it a very easy game when everyone's out there playing their role, and it's something that Mick's drummed into us over the last 4 or 5 years that it's not, you can't rely on too few. It's got to be the 22 who are out there.
That being the case, who gives you a sleepless night?
That's it. Jim, look out.
Why didn't you put it between his eyes? Who gives you a sleepless night the night before?
The teams?
For opposition player.
You know, you look at the Juddies and the Ablets and players like that, and I think you know, they're always going to run amok against you and you got to do everything you can. And our mentality is to kind of take them on as a team. You know, we can't take them on one-on-one, so we've got to take them on as a team.
The thing I like about Collingwood is there's actually no secrets to how they play. You know, maybe they'll try and peel off in the back line. Maxwell, when he's there, he does it the most. There's no real secrets to how they play. They're strong at the footy. They get numbers back when the opposition is slow going forward. And when you go forward, you've got players. You've got one that leads up at the footy in Cloak. You've got people that go past. And you've got crummers who kick it into the forward line where Dawes might be sitting behind it. There's no secrets to how you play.
Easy.
That's exactly what Mick tries to tell us, just play traditional football.
But the other thing that's really impressive, I reckon, when you're live, especially if you're sitting up a bit higher watching Collingwood, they get outside the spread, I reckon, better than any other club in the comp. They've always got the bloke on the outside of a spreading situation, so he gets on the end with room to deliver it. It's
and I reckon
really
the other
impressive.
thing that people really have given it to Mick Malthouse in the past when you hadn't won premierships was they say, oh, well, we hug the boundary line. Well, hug the boundary line. If there's a chance of turning it over, you hug the boundary line. If there's somebody free in the middle, you kick in the middle. If there's a better way, show us.
It's just confidence. There's no doubt about that, the way they play. They just... it's not arrogance, it's just confidence that they just rely on one another doing their job. Maxwell's not playing. Leon Davis can't get a game, and he was their best performed player through NAB Cup, so it just shows you the pressure that's on and how good they're going.
Very, very annoying for all of us, Sharrod, to see how well your mob's going. Now, Derm, some votes?
Yeah, well, I did go. It was a pretty tough one because I actually award votes on the players who set up the win, not just, you know, when they win by that much. So I went for Pendlebury. I thought his 14 possessions in the first quarter when they kicked 5-5 to 1-4 was phenomenal. The Swan thereafter, when they just sealed the win by half-time, I thought his second quarter with 18 possessions was fantastic. Dawes is such a presence. He's got 15, 16 contested footy wins as a key forward. And Daisy Thomas, once again, contested footy, back and forward, drill running is wonderful. North Melbourne, let's have a look at them. Well, they get almost 2 weeks now to recover, and then they've got Freo on the road again, Richmond and Port. So there's some winnable games ahead. You guys have the big one next Friday against the Blues, Sharrod. That's something you'll rise to the occasion for completely.
Yeah, we love it. A Friday night game, so very much looking forward to it. Getting back to the G, we haven't played there yet, so yeah, very much looking forward to it.
And the last one for Sharrod, he's not the ugliest looking young rooster in the world. Or you get a nomination for Cleo's eligible bachelor this year or something, like you miss out this year.
Chris Dawes. Left that one for Dawsy, mate.
Dawsy got it.
Yeah, actually, you vote for Dawsy. Normally, when bachelor year.
On next Friday night, the Collingwood Carlton, the flag's going to be unfurled, so that'll be good for all the fans. 7 p.m, I think.
Yeah, certainly is. With a surprise guest who's going to be unveiling, so make sure you get down.
Who's the surprise guest?
It wouldn't be a surprise if
it wouldn't be a surprise if I told you, would it?
Eddie.
Hey, don't worry. Imagine the delight for Ed. He's unfurling the flag in front of the Blues. There'll be 80 or 90,000 at the G. I reckon that's going to be his most enjoyable moment of his life.
In life. Yeah, it will too.
Now, Bill, what does our fine friend here take home?
Righto, let's have a look at the prize pack. Let's go a bit slower this week, quicker this week. Dusty, he was slow last week. Aquila shoes, there they are for you, Sharrod. St. Goliath clothing pack there, $250. Man, what a fuss, $100 voucher there. King Chrome tools, magnificent. That looks like... What set's that? The socket set. The whey protein power for muscle recovery.
Oh, a new one.
Oh, the ready to golf. Gee, I haven't read this. $130 voucher for the ready to golf. Well done. Hotel Bright. Slow down, Dusty. And the Home Timber and Hardware $200 gift card. Thanks to Home Timber and Hardware, the proper hardware store. All for you, Sharrod.
Thank you very much, Billy.
I think if you have a look at the ready to golf there, Bill, that's Big Dawsy modelling on the photo.
Give us a look at that again, Dusty.
We mightn't be able to get all the way through the prize apologise again, Bill, but it is crystal.
Dermot couldn't fit you in the votes. Normally we get the guest in the votes.
A little bit disappointing.
What happened
Sorry
there,
about
Dermot?
that. Well, we only go down to 4. He was 5th in line. Sorry, mate.
Sharrod, well done, and enjoy Friday night. As I say, there'll be 80 or 90,000. Both teams undefeated. It's going to be a beauty, and congratulations on the way you're going about it.
Thank you very much, Jim.
Sharrod Wellingham, good man, good friend of ours on the Sunday Footy Show. We're going to take a break, and on the other side, we're going to speak to another good friend of ours, Campbell Brown from the Gold Coast Suns. Cool.